You know, it's 100 degrees outside right now, and where do you suppose I am? I'm in my mother's attic where it's hotter than 100 degrees, bringing it to you. There's one more thing I want to show you, and once I get over there, I brought a couple little light flashlights, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Don't worry. You know, I never thought I would need a GoPro camera, but this is probably one of those times where I could certainly use one, but I'm holding my camera on a tripod and using one hand to try to shimmy around down over here in the abyss. Yeah, that's where I want to go, way down there. Yeah. I've got two little flashlights like this, see? That's all I got. Aren't those things bright? And I'm bringing you down here because I remember a while ago I had a roof leak. My mother had a roof leak, and I came up here in the attic to identify where it was coming from, and that's where a light fixture is, and it was dripping down there. And I found out it was right about here. Okay, I've since gone ahead and made some patches up on the roof. You keep watching my channel, you'll find those. And so I thought I better come back up here, spread the insulation. So I spread the insulation, and see this little plastic container here? See these three things here? These are just little aluminum rod things that I had off of an umbrella I was supposed to take in for the aluminum, but I kept them. They're over 2 feet long, and they span from this joist over to this joist over here. And I thought I would do that and still keep this container here in case next time it rains, let's say, if I'm not here, it's gonna catch right in here if I didn't make that roof leak go away. You know, let's say it's still leaking slightly. I don't know that, and I want to get all this stuff back together so next time it rains I can come back up here, or next time I'm around I can look in this container, see if there's any water in it, see if there's any you know, if there is a leak, it will drip in there, and then it should dry up, because it wasn't much of a leak, and it was only when it was raining super hard. When it was raining soft, it didn't leak at all. You ever had that problem? Well, we have that issue here, and so I'll be able to look at this. The water gets in here, if it does still leak, then if it dries, I'll see a ring around the collar, let's say, and then I'll know that I've still got a leak going and I got to fix something else up at the roof, or if all else fails, then I might call a roofer, and he might get a little chuckle out of the different things that I did. But I wanted to try all this stuff first, okay? And it might give you some ideas what you can do at your project. Next time it rains, let's say, you can come up here, you can look and see if there's anything in here, and if it does rain, at least it's not going to get your insulation wet, your sheetrock wet, to build up some mold issues like that. Short out your light fixture as it's dripping down or anything of that nature. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there, and I'm leaving Mother's in a few days, and I probably won't be here for another, oh, I don't know how long, but once I come back, I'll have to mosey on up here and check her out. Now, before I leave this area, when I came down here, I wasn't quite sure which light fixture it was around. See, this was where one light fixture was, and I dug around there, and before I graduated over to the left and found where the leak was. So since I'm up here, I'm just going to scoot this insulation. This is blow-in insulation, and if you don't get it placed back down, obviously it's not going to work, is it? And this is just designed to stay kind of airy like that, okay? And I'll look over here to the left a little bit more. Oopsie, I think I cut you off there, accident. accidentally hit the camera and closed the lid. Okay, so I'm going to check over here a little bit and try to reach over there and just take a little bit more. I've got some, here's some up on top of the pipe even, because it was blown in afterwards. Okay. And if you see any that's over, if you get any overspray somewhere, you could take some of that and throw back in here too. Okay, I think I'm good. Right there where my foot was. Oh, I have to get that. It's kind of a pain working around in an attic, because if you move anything, before you go down, you've got to make sure to get it all pushed back. Whoa! Oh, I almost stepped off the truss. Now see all this right here where it's kind of built up? I can take a little bit of that and throw it over this way. There's some underneath the camera that's just kind of built up. Look, see all that right there? It's up higher. It's up higher than everything else. And I guess, you know, that's where I reached down there with my foot to try to see where to walk, because there was a 1x4 down in there. And so as I go back, I'm just going to keep checking her out, little by little, onward, back to Mother's closet. Ha ha ha.